Well, I'm back. And just for a quickie, I've got some good news and some bad news. Good news is, people are watching my videos, a few of them. I've got a tiny number of subscribers, but I'm fine with that. The bad news is I'm not getting paid for it, which I'm also fine with. I'm not getting paid for anything I'm doing on these videos, to be honest. But what I'm not okay with are comments like this. Now, Mr. Campbell here is obviously quite experienced. He gives the impression of somebody who is, and he makes a number of valid points. However, I've circled a couple of little issues I have here. Now, let's start from the start. He says here to never bend the leads. I'm actually quite well aware of that, would you believe? And I do it anyway because I'm a lazy prick. Now, never cut into the solder. I'm also aware of the merits of not doing that, and I do it anyway. And it's not the correct way to clean flux from a PCB. That too I'm aware of. That particular issue is down to the location that I'm in and finding the correct materials. Now, I have a small bristle brush, but it's a steel one and not really friendly on the coating on boards. Toothbrush was the nearest thing I had to hand. Kim wipes, I'll admit I have to look them up. And the next nearest thing I can find locally is not available inside a week and cost a fortune. And well, I guess a dead Amiga cost a fortune too. 99% alcohol, because we live in the nanny state of Australia, is difficult to find even in isopropyl alcohol form. But you know what, I'll go have a look. And he wants me to watch his Amiga 5000 computer repair if I want to learn how to clean PCBs the way we do in the electronics industry. Well, to be honest, I have actually had involvements in the electronics industry and I'm aware of how it's done properly. But here's the thing. I didn't admit that that was how you do it properly. And those other leads did not need to be cut. Yes, to be honest, they didn't. And the Amiga 2000 board sits on half-inch standoffs. We know that. Now, he's called me a stupid people. And this is where things take a turn for the worse. Now, up until this point, I was with you here, Hans. Or Hans. I'm going to take the time to be respectful here, unlike you. Now, he's calling me a stupid person. That tells me here that rather than trying to correct me and educate me, you're just trying to make my day bad. That's where I have a problem. Now, so he said I should not be repairing the Amiga. Well, look, to be honest, I did put repair and the word restoration in my YouTube video, but that's probably strictly not correct. What I'm trying to do in this case was to do a preliminary assessment to see if the thing would even fire up and function. The idea after that point was to do the repair properly and to go and obtain the correct tools, which the only tools I've got at the moment really, in terms of an Amiga 2000 board, amount to a chisel and a hammer. So, yeah, I'm working with some tools. I'm also kind of poor, which, you know, he doesn't offer to help pay me to buy the correct tools here. So, you're not really doing much to help me go along with this. Now, here's the thing. I haven't been to watch this Amiga 500 video, and I won't. Because of this. I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm quite happy for people to correct me. And you'll probably find, if you watch my whole video instead of rage quitting a few minutes in, you'll probably find that I don't admit to doing this properly. I don't admit that this is the way you do, and I'm not trying to educate people how to do this. However, the reason I'm making an exception to this comment is it does bring some issues that I didn't consider were obvious to people. Well, they're obvious to me, maybe not to everybody else. Let's get this clear. I'm not doing instructional videos on how you should repair your Amiga. I'm just demonstrating how I did. Most of the time, it's a really quick preliminary assessment to see if the thing will even just turn on and function. I have quite a following of people and associates from my past professional life who are far better and far more accurate at repairing these things, and that's where they end up. When I see these things, they've usually been turfed onto my lawn out the back of a truck, and sometimes they're in a very sorry state. So my videos here are basically sifting through the junk that I've got and determining what will work and what will not. That's the full extent of what I'm trying to do. I have a little bit of a play around, I learn some programming, and then I pass them on to people that will love them and cherish them and restore them properly. In the process, I try to do as little damage as possible. If Mr. Campbell here, on the other hand, probably disagrees with that, which you know, you're entitled to your opinion. And actually, in this case, it's probably, in the case of the Omega 2000, where I cocked up those 2 circuit tracks, probably quite correct. That was actually a fuck up, and I did something that I knew I shouldn't be doing, and I paid the price for it. And now I'm paying the price for YouTube comments as well. People have bad days, they fuck things up. It happens. In any case, YouTube is now suggesting that this might be an inappropriate comment and is encouraging me to set up automatic filtering. If you guys keep calling me stupid, that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you guys try to be a little bit more constructive and give me useful comments, give me some links. If you want me to watch a video, post the damn link and then I'll watch it. But the moment you call me a stupid person or an idiot or anything like that, I'm going to completely ignore you and I'm going to delete that comment. If you keep your creative or constructive criticism polite, I'm going to read it. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to look things up and I'll learn. I admit there are things I don't know. You won't hear that very often on YouTube, but there are things I don't know. Although apparently Hans knows everything. And I'd really like him to write a book so I can buy it and read it. But I can't find it because I'm not going to look him up because he thinks I'm stupid. Anyway, that's the end of this rant. But please, post your negative comments by all means, but just keep it polite, please. We live in a civil society. We can do that. All right, this is my rant over, and I'm going to label it as a rant, and hopefully we can all move on. Now, just at the end of this, there are 2 replies. That was me. And that's me asking him for the link for his Omega 500 video. He's yet to reply. I guess we'll see if he does. If he does, I'll put it in the comments here so you guys can watch it too and you can learn how to correctly repair things. See, I'm not all vengeful. I want you to learn the right way, and that's not my way apparently.